Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannons. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to your Thursday night broadcast here on SRW TV. Tonight we bring to you the Shannons Toyota GR86 Nationals, and thanks to Warren and Brown Tools, this is round 4 of season 3 of 2023. Tonight we are coming to you live from Detroit Grand Prix. I am Nathan ShiBBy Howard, and next to me in the comms box tonight is Ryan Green. How are we doing, sir?
Why do you have to say pricks? It's like saying espresso. No, you're not one of those, are you? That's slanderous.
Grand Prix.
Prix, there you go. We got it.
I had a little one come into the office and show me her beautiful dancing skills, so...
thought I hurt you. You just stopped talking. I was
You
like,
did
oh,
hurt me.
I take it back. You can say pricks.
Yeah,
you
you
can say
did
pricks.
hurt me. It's spelt with an X, mate. It says pricks. Anyway, as I was saying, I am Nathan ShiBBy. This is Ryan Green. What a great start to the broadcast. Hope everybody is doing well out there. But yes, we are at Detroit Grand Prix. And tonight we come to you for another super sprint round. That's right. There will be a qualifying session. And then after that, a Heat 1, which will be 20 minutes. A Heat 2, which will be 20 minutes with a reverse top 10 grid. And a Heat 3/feature race, which will be a top 5 reverse grid. So looking forwards to this. The 86s are really starting to heat up this season. And the racing is getting better and better. While we've got a bit of time, while our drivers finish their practice session, what we're going to do is get the results. No, the standings up on screen. This is your Shannons Toyota GR86 National standings as of round 3. So this is from last week's race. So at the moment, Mr. John McHenry from the Locked On Lads is leading the championship points at 497 points. Bruce Wright for LMR Esports, 494 points. Callan Hodgkinson from Crisscross Racing, 494 points. There is absolutely nothing in the top 3. Still plenty of points on offer, as this is only round 4 of a 9-round season. So as we move further down, you can see Dan Batouche for ETS Motorsports is trailing by 124 points. It's only going to take one good round to jump him back up into that contention for a top 3. And as you can see, Greg Johnson from Team Greg Racing, only 125 points. So he's only a point difference from Dan Batouche. This field is absolutely on top of each other. And then as we move further down, there's only 10, 20 points between each driver. That is a 1-round win to jump multiple drivers. So the championship is heating up. And we hope you are all going to stick around and follow us through when we take on round 9 for the championship round in 5 weeks. Jason Douglas has dropped into the comms box and said, hey, how you doing, Jace? Thanks for dropping in, mate. Always appreciate it. Rush has dropped in to say, let's go, Pricey. And Jake Edwards said, I am sad I'm not there this week. Well, that's disappointing, mate. But go, Callan Hodgkinson, your weapon. Yep, he probably will miss his teammate out there tonight, Callan. So great to see you all out there supporting your drivers and, of course, supporting Sim Racing World. We couldn't do it without you, all the drivers. So thank you so much. And, of course, we couldn't do it without our sponsors, Shannons Insurance. Huge add-on for our sponsorship this season, covering our 86s and our Formula 3. Of course, Warren and Brown Tools for our round sponsor, Grim Industries, home of the V8 coffee table, who have been making all our wonderful trophies for our championship winners. Simrigs.com, Racecraft, Rare Spares, Tempting Sweets, and I always forget this one, but my good mate in America, Rocket Unlimited, for most of the music you hear during the stream as well. Hope you're doing well. Let's get into the session. All right, practice session is still up. Let's have a quick look and see what sort of times these guys are doing in the practice session. So Jordan McDonnell, he told me how to pronounce it correctly, and I'm going to get it wrong again anyway, is setting the quickest time at the moment by well over a second. 142.5 in this practice session. John McHenry in second with a 143. Bruce Wright with a 143. And then a bunch of 144s right down to P7 Ryan Price. So it is, it's going to be close tonight.
Yeah, that timing sheet just pretty much all orange from 6th through to 11th, meaning that's less than half a second per interval between the drivers. Greg Lee and Daniel Fritz doing exactly the same time on the interval. It says the best time. There's 2 100. Right, it doesn't go to the thousands. There's 2 1,000s between the two. I was going to say, so even that interval, my little interval number doesn't go down that low. It just says 0.00. So those guys, you couldn't even blink that fast between them.
No, definitely not. But yeah, they can. Our viewers can see that it's a 145.158 to a 145.160. So that is ridiculously close. There is absolutely nothing between these 18 drivers out here tonight. Definitely look forwards to getting into our super sprint session. We will be kicking it off with the racecraft qualifying session in all of 1 minute. Tom Riley has dropped in, and he totally forgot who else is on comms tonight, mate, so you might have to have a little bit of a chat with him.
Oh, what? What's he on, this guy?
He's pulling your ear, that's for sure.
Right.
Jordan McDonald just dropping in on debut with bloody rapid times. Indeed, he came in and took out the AM round 4 just last week. So it'll actually be interesting to see if Jordan McDonald does stay in the AMS series. He will be able to stick around in the GR86 because it's an open series. Anybody can join. Anybody can come and race and have fun with us. Mate, so this is... Totally forgot what track we're at then.
Detroit Belle Isle.
Detroit Belle Isle. Mate, this is a bit of a concrete jungle.
Yeah, it's one of the few straight tracks. There's a couple of straight tracks in the game, but only few come to mind with walls really this close to the track. This in Long Beach. This one's a lot higher speed than Long Beach. It's very, very, very bumpy. It's just on a little island on the Detroit River, just outside. They used to race around the Renaissance Center, or that's maybe where they race now. They used to race in downtown Detroit, which was just as bad, if not worse. So the road maintenance isn't exactly up to scratch, but it's made from existing roads. So it's public roads when it's not being used for racing, as the cars all start to pile out of the pit lane. But it's got some decent overtaking spots. Like, it's no slouch of a track. It's down at turn 3 and turn 7 are your main slots. The curbs are pretty monstrous here. Yeah, and the walls are really tight on exit, especially with a couple of the tire barriers that are off the edge of the outside of the corner, kind of protect the real life cars from smashing into it. But they're a bit solid in this game, so can really tighten up the exit. We'll definitely see a safety car tonight, I would say.
Mate, I think you're going to be right. I'm pretty sure every time we've been at Belle Isle, regardless of the cars out on track, there is a safety car. It's very, very tight track. Very hard to get a clean overtake, especially around these corners. There is no room for error when you're going too wide. And I definitely think we might see a lot of aggressive driving. We have seen it. Not aggressive bad driving, aggressive good driving, because this is a super sprint series. It's a 20-minute go your hardest and make sure you get to the finish line. So it's going to be interesting to see how our drivers tackle this track tonight, as we are on board with Jordan McDonald, new driver to the league, and I believe he's got a teammate out there as well, Lockie Brett. So good to see more teams getting out here and jumping in and enjoying the league. We'll be getting through and starting to see some times coming through any minute now. Jordan McDonald was the first one to leave the pits, so where is he sitting on the track? He has finished his warm-up, his outlap, and he will be heading out now. You will see Sexters start lighting up on your screen. Oh man, those curbs are going to cause Maverick Sim Sports. Thanks, Tom Riley. Yes, so we're going to see a lot of problems with these 86s and those curves tonight, or what I like to call the ripple strips. The 86s are a very stiff little car, and they seem to get thrown in the air quite easily by just a little bit of elevation on either the left or right tyre.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk versus reward type of circuit. It's very easy to pick up your 0x invalidation just from the lightest wall graze. Like, doesn't even do any damage to the car, but any sort of contact incident, regardless of how hard it is against the walls, will invalidate the lap. So you can see a few of those. There's not really too many places you can go off tracks. I guess that's the benefit, because I guess if you're off track, you're in the concrete barrier, and you've seen how brittle these cars can be over the last few seasons. They really don't take a lot for the fronts to completely collapse, and the suspension, the brake, steering damage, and whatever else. So I've seen, let's say, an interesting start into turn 1 the last time I watched a race here. I hope we don't see that tonight, but it was one of the all-time wrecks, that's for sure.
As the times start flowing through, Jordan McDonald up there. Okay, what happened there we go. Jordan McDonald came through the 1:43.864. Mark Turner then jumped up in as well. The times are flowing in hot, 1:44.38. Benchmark at the moment is Jordan McDonald with that 1:43.8. So interesting to see after a few more laps come through. Jason Douglas has just swatted himself up into provisional P5 with a 1:45.859. I'm sure he's going to want to squeeze a little more out of that, as Brendan Soper as well just drumps himself up into the top 10 with a 1:49. Pretty slow at the moment for their times for some of them, but still got good 10 minutes of the racecraft qualifying session to go. Keep an eye on those sectors as they light up. Green is a personal best. Purple is a best sector. That was
that McDonald? It was one of the liveries. It was either him or his teammate.
Yeah, so there's
Lockie.
there's 3 of them out there at the moment. Maverick Sim Sports coming in hot, Thomas Riley says. So, yeah, definitely. So there's Jordan. Is it Nathan Kane, the other one? Yeah, so Nathan Kane, Jordan McDonald, and Lockie Brett, a new team that have just joined our series, the Maverick Sim Sports drivers. So I believe they are a New Zealand-based team. So great to see have more of our Kiwi family out here on track. Not sure who spun, but I'm sure we're going to see more of that tonight as Dylan DeBono, Velocity Sim Labs, lighting up the table there. So he has slotted himself into 5th. Kevin Wakefield is going to be next as well across the line, sitting in 10th. Shane Newlands just jumped himself up into P9. Times are still flowing through. Brendan Soper wanting to go one better on his lap. Will he improve over his 1:49? He does improve. He gets a 1:48.13, but not enough to jump Shane Newlands. Let's see if we can get a full on-board lap. Every time I try this, we never have any luck for some reason. As soon as I jump on board with people, they go, no, please don't show my driving skills. And Lockie,
is about to start a lap and looking around. Him or Bruce White just coming around. So
as we go around, mate, you want to talk us through some of the track?
I'll do my best. Come around, you want to your real start of the lap really starts all the way back at turn 13. As you try to get a good run, it's a fast sort of chicane. Not really, but it's a sweeping one. You got to use all the exits, the crest there at the exit of turn 2, and it really induced a lot of understeer, throw you into the wall on the outside of 2, but keeps it off the wall this time. You need to swing back over to the left-hand side for turn 3, avoid the bumps on the way in, and get it nice and dipped in. You can use a lot of this inside curve, but you got to watch the tyre barrier on the outside. There's a bit of grass you can catch. It'll just throw you into the wall if you're not too careful as well. Coming through turn 4 again, all of the curve you see it just jolts up in the air. That's fine to use. Hit your braking marker. You can use some of that inside concrete, but there's no need to, because you've got to get back over to the left-hand side really quickly here and tuck it in nice and tight, as close as you can to the wall, but don't as close as you can without clipping it. Gets out, and no need to run all the way out to the outside wall, because you're straight back over to the right-hand side as it bends and twists down into turn 7. Now this turn 7 curve is an absolute monster curve. We're going to see many people make moves here, and tonight gets pulled up nicely about the 100-meter board. Chooses to not use it. I think that's a wise decision there. It's the most technical part of the track coming up. 8 over the curve, and then you back out to the right-hand side while you're on the anchors again. Down through 9. kind of double apex it through 10. It kind of treat it as one corner and get it straight again, because you got to get it into the camber of turn 11, so you can get it out onto this kind of mini back straight. And got to carry as much speed as you can through 12 and through 13 here. This is where a lot of time can be made up, especially through 13 here. This is your run, and you're flat all the way through as you pass the pit lane on the right-hand side there, flat through turn 14, and across the start-finish line to complete your lap. And that has put our man up into provisional P9 there, so a 1:46.9 that lap.
We actually picked a good lap to get on board with the driver. They've actually improved, made a full lap. Very, very tricky little track. Very, very close quarters. So at the moment, everybody is sort of trying to share the track and keep some air between each other. But that is all going to change as we see Newlands cop the rear end. That car is not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, you definitely want to be trying to pull this one over somewhere and get that one back into pits, get it repaired, and try to get back out while you still can. It's going to reset your fuel, unfortunately. You can only start with a minimum of 10 litres in this car, so you can't get it down to like the real quality spec. These cars being so fuel efficient, not even barely using over a litre a lap. So he'll have a bigger fuel load than the other guys, but it's definitely better than driving around with that. I'm sure he's got rear suspension damage or chassis damage there.
Nathan Kane, yeah, I dare say he does. Nathan Kane, the Maverick Sim Sports, has just bumped Kevin Wakefield down into P10 by jumping up into P9 with a 1:46.354. I feel like their times are a bit slower than what we were seeing in practice, which is sort of interesting.
I forgot to take a mental note of what times they were doing in practice, but Jordan McDonald is still 5/10 clear of the field, so he's most certainly done his part.
Oh, there we go, lucky up. Well, during practice, we were seeing 143s and a very big spread of 144s into your 145s. So I wonder if some people are trying to sandbag. No, you wouldn't want to sandbag the qualifying. You want to get out there, especially in the 86s. You want to get away from the field behind you. It's John McHenry coming around now. Will improve on his time, but wasn't enough to get Jordan.
Yeah, improved significantly. Took about 4/10 out of his lap there. I think he'd be pretty gutted to not get it near the pole position. That's a very, very quick lap, heading underneath into the 1:43.4s. Still, he would have been thought he was, for sure pole position, but yeah, that's a quick lap from Jordan, and I dare say John's going to need to replicate that probably behind somebody in a tow to get up there, unless we didn't see the lap, so he might have made a mistake, especially through that turn, like 10 through 13, 14 complex. There's a lot of time can be made up there.
I think Jordan McDonald's going to go quicker. He's got 2 purple sectors. If you guys don't know, that is the best sector of this session. And 2 personal bests. He is definitely, if he hasn't got any instant points, he is definitely improving on his time. 1:42.9. The first 1:42 of the session. That is going to be a tough time to beat.
Yeah, that's just about, I would have thought, locked in pole position there for Jordan McDonald. You'd have to be really asking a lot of the 86 and go on maximum attack, and honestly, with some of these curves and some of these bumps, a lot of luck involved to beat that one.
Definitely, mate. It's always interesting. I always get excited when new drivers come to the league to see what they have to offer and to see what our other drivers are going to have to battle with throughout the season now. What a phenomenal lap. Callan didn't manage to lock in his lap. He was looking like he was on a really good lap, but he must have cost himself an instant point. As you said, it's very easy to do. All you got to do is clip that wall by the littlest amount, and that's your instant point, so your lap is null and void. Jason Douglas now for LMR Esports did just do better and has jumped himself up into the top 10 with a provisional P8. Really good effort from him. The times are definitely starting to settle down a little bit. What's the weather looking like out there? We have a 19-degree track temp, so it's actually a really cool track temp. It's quite suited to racing right now. It's looking great.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit very, very high up in America, right on the border there with Canada, and so it's gets very, very cold. This track completely covered in snow in the winter. Definitely a colder climate up here, so we can expect to see these track temps down really low.
I believe the drivers are going to enjoy that tonight. Yeah, it's a total different story on Tuesday night for the V8 Supercars Amateur Series, thanks to simrigs.com, where the track was hot, sticky, and slippery. See Lockie Brett jump up into provisional P8. Callan Hodgkinson comes around. Will he lock that time in? He will, and he will jump up into P9 with a 145.676. Lockie Brett did a 145.651. Mark Cochran at 145.545. Dylan DeBono then jumps them by a second. So there is some gap starting to stretch out this field.
There you go. John McHenry did go faster as well. He probably would think he would have put it on pole position should Jordan McDonald not have improved. He's got it all the way down to a low 43. Just while in the same vein of breath, I've just had word from Race Control that car 73 of Shannons is going to be receiving a pit lane start for the first of the sprint races.
Any extra information?
No.
Nope.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Just pit lane start.
Oh, for car 73.
I would imagine impeding.
Yeah, probably. It's a very tricky track.
Or no cooldown from last season. I would imagine it's one of the two.
All right, the grid is locked in for our racecraft qualifying session. Our racecraft best lap and pole position tonight will be Jordan McDonald. Sitting next to him in P2 will be John McHenry for Locked On Racing. Row 2, we'll see Mark Turner for K-Tech Motorsports and Bruce White line up next to each other. Row 3, we'll see Dan Patouche for ETS Motorsports and Dylan DeBono for Velocity Sim Sports. Row 4 will be Mark Cochran and Lockie Brett. Row 5 will see Callan Hodgkinson and Jason Douglas line up next to each other. Steven Sinkovich and Nathan Kane will be in row 6. As we head towards the back of the field, Greg Leake and Kevin Wakefield lining up next to each other. Brendan Soper, Wayne Edwards will be next. Shane Newens, Ryan Price will be next. Daniel Fritz and Greg Johnson are your race control? No, Fritzy's racing, is he?
Fritzy's race control.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. And Peter Gretton will hold up the back of the grid for us as we get ready, set to go racing here for round 4. Thanks to Warren and Brown Tools for your Shannons Toyota GR86 Nationals.
About 10 seconds left on the grid timer, so these guys just be sorting themselves out. It can be a pretty tricky start down into turn 1 and turn 2. It comes up very, very quick. Unfortunately, these cars don't get off the line very, very quick, so that'll work in their favor as the lights switch on and start to light up. And we've got 5 lights, and we're green here at Belle Isle. That's a pretty good start there from Jordan McDonald at the start, but I think that's a better start there for John McHenry at the front. We're already 3 wide down in the mid-pack, but looking up ahead, looking to file through. John's going to try to look around the outside, but it's going to be very, very hard this early in the race to slot straight in as these guys. That's a great start there from Dylan DeBono, I believe, just making his way past. Should have that move done for P5 down into turn 1. So they all file through the first couple of turns, all fine.
Oh, a bit of contact there.
All over the curve, and unlucky not to run into the side of each other there, but we move on. Dan Partouche we're on board with now, trying to slot in. It's a very single file this part of the track. There's not really anywhere you can go. Got Callan Hodgkinson behind. He's built himself a little bit of a gap. Mark Cochran, got Jason Douglas all over the rear gearbox. Did have a look to the inside of turn 5 there, but just thought the better of it. The walls do bite around here. Never met a soft concrete wall in my life.
No, me either, mate. Me either. Mark Turner and Bruce White going side by side here. This is going to be a heated super sprint, that's for sure. We're going to see a lot of two wides around all these corners. Bruce White has got round Turner, but now De Bono is right on the back of Turner. De Bono, an extremely quick driver in these 86s.
Yeah, he's got a bit of pace under him, De Bono. I think he started a bit further down than what he would have liked. We're used to seeing him up the front. I mean, P6 isn't slow, but I'm sure he would have thought he was going to be higher up to grid at the start of this race. We're on board now with Jason Douglas, just still on the back of Mark Cochran. He's got a good run out of the last turn here, and last official turn, unofficial turn even, and he's maybe going to have the overlap. He's going to have a look down the inside at turn 1, just shows him the nose, but doesn't get enough alongside, but did force him off the line, made it a bit uncomfortable there for Mark Cochran. Slots back in and tries to set up a good exit for turn 2. He's going to be fed the outside for turn 3 down at the end of the straight, but he's got a great run out of 2, and he's going to edge ahead down at the braking zone. We'll see how hard Mark Cochran can get on the brakes as they get varied as who's the last of the late breakers. Just enough room given, but hangs it around the outside just Jason Douglas, and he's going to have the run there into turn 4, and great move around the outside. Good respect shown to not hit each other there.
Was great respect shown. As you can already see, this is extremely tight for all the drivers. We've got to jump a little bit further forwards as Dylan De Bono, Velocity Sim Labs, is still right on the back of Dan Batouche. So I wonder how long this battle will go on. Being a 20-minute race, these drivers are not going to want to sit in that position for too long. De Bono got a really nice tight line through that corner, which kept him extremely close to the back of Batouche. Mark Turner's around. Mark Turner is around. He is going to drop all the way to the back of the pack, because this pack is still heavily on top of each other. No one was injured, no cars damaged, no safety car as of yet. Unfortunate for Mark, was having a phenomenal drive, but that has now got Brendan Soper and Greggy Johnson on the back of him. He's probably going to want to push hard now to try and get some of those positions back. Let's jump back on board with Batouche. We see De Bono, the Velocity Sim Lab team, go really hard on the brakes into that corner. Really, really nice. Late on the brakes compared to Batouche there, and just had that spot eaten up.
Yeah, he licked the stamp there, definitely a little bit, and sent it, and got it pulled up nicely. I thought he wasn't going to get it pulled up for the apex and was going to be a bit shallow for the entry for 2, but he got it done nicely through 1 and was not able to compromise his line too much there, so was able to maintain the position down the straight. Definitely thought Batouche was going to get a good run then, but he's done really, really well there. Did Dylan to get that pulled up. Right on board with Kevin and Wayne Edwards right now, side by side through 4. A little bit of a touch, but or maybe just a little bit of a wheel as Wayne Edwards just makes his way cleanly around the outside. Kevin Wakefield thought was going to look to the inside of 5 here. Just thinks better of it again. Just as a long, long twisty straight down into turn 6. We'll see how close he can get. The gaps at just under 4/10 at this stage. He's just pulling out of it a little bit, and maybe just
back over
pretty
slipstream. He's riding to the left. Oh wow, he was a lot later on the brakes though.
Yeah, I think he was just happy to sit behind Wayne Edwards there. I think he thinks Wayne's got a bit of pace under him, so not really trying to force the issue too much. He's also got Mark Turner 3.8 behind him, who's going to be making his way up the field very, very quickly. So we'll see what type of game Kevin plays here. He may just play the game of follow the leader for a bit and try to pull himself onto the back of the other cars ahead. Only just over 5 minutes gone now in this session, so only a quarter of the way through, so it's quite a bit longer left in this one. Of course, we do have a reverse top 10 for the first race and a top reverse 5 for the second of the sprint races. So as it stands now, Lockyer Brett will be starting in pole position, but as we've seen, it can definitely change over the course of the next 15 minutes.
Sure can, mate. It's such a tricky track like this, but we jump on board with our race leader at the moment, Jordan McDonald. Just set the best lap of this session with a 143.46. John McHenry for Locked On Lads, though, is not far behind him with a 143.59, but you can see that gap now starting to stretch out. He has put 1.3 seconds on John McHenry. And John McHenry is no slouch.
That gap's not really moved. I was seeing that was about the gap at the end of lap 1, and we're on lap 5 or 4, I believe now. I can't see the...
lap 4, mate, yep.
We're on lap 4 right now, so that gap's not really moved. Maybe it's stretched only a tenth or two. So John's still hanging around. It seems we're just stretching out a bit more now. Jordan's definitely just knocking out the consistency. He's just had 3 personal best sectors the last go around.
Callan and Jason Douglas side by side through that last corner. I think Jason Douglas actually got a pass made there. We need to get a quick replay of this. Callan went down the inside actually to try and get around Douglas, but hit the curb, got a little unsettled, and that allowed Douglas to hold that position there. Probably going to see some more side-by-side action as these races go on tonight. Callan Hodgkinson now coming back at Douglas. Side by side they go again. Callan must have had a really good run there because he has managed to get in front, but we'll have to get on the brakes. Douglas on 2 wheels, and Mark Cochran's around. Don't think there was any contact there. I think he might have seen Douglas up on 2 wheels and sort of got a little bit freaked out.
No, he definitely got a little bit excited. I thought he was going to sneak his way past with, Callan Hodgkinson there on the inside. So he definitely was trying to be the opportunistic man. Jump back to the battle at hand. Jason Douglas right on the rear gearbox of Callan and was pushing him down the straights. Just backs off a little bit towards the braking zone, so he gives himself a little bit of room to operate. Heats his braking marker nice. He's going to look to a little bit of a switchback. Callan gets all over the curb, but he's going to be able to hold the position unless Jason looks to the inside. He has it, shows him the nose, but wasn't alongside enough. There we go, we can English to get the move done. He's just dropped off a little now and slot back in. And
Callan's
next chance is going to be Callan's gone massively deep into the corner, but it still hasn't been enough for Jason to work his way past. He's going to look to the inside. He's going to have the nose in. Going to get it done under the brakes. Callan's going to slip back into the toe, and he's going to be nice and close. He still could be on into turn 1.
This could be the battle of this round, this heat. Also, for everybody out there watching, I need you all to put your votes in for driver of the day. Keep that in mind. It's going to be stretched across 3 races tonight. We will need to name someone driver of the day. Steven Sinkovic for Team SRW Motorsports, sitting up in P10 at the moment, up 1 spot from qualifying. 0.6 of a second off the back of Lockie. Bit of damage on the front of his car, hits the curb really hard, and that unsettles his car, and he is lucky to have caught that without eating the concrete wall there.
Yeah, that was an impressive save. That's just shaved a second out of Mark Turner behind, who was definitely looming. We saw him have the go around earlier. Started up in P4, I believe, or P3. So he's definitely going to be right on the back of Stephen within the next few laps, dare I say. He's right on board now with Brendan Sofer, who's on the back of Ryan Price now.
Brendan's got a lot of damage on that car as well.
Yeah, these are definitely easy to pick it up around here. It only takes you to run too deep at one corner, and all of a sudden you've got a bit of front area damage.
Doesn't seem to be slowing Brenda down as he's on the back of the Bluey machine of Ryan Price right now. He's got a really good run using that draft to his advantage there. Really closed the gap down on him. Lockie's on the back of Nathan Kane, and Hodgkinson is still on the back of Douglas. It's quite a few battles going on. The gap between first and second, though, has been stretched out to 2 seconds. But Callan and Douglas. Callan down the inside on the brakes. Douglas gets a bit too much curb, unsettles the car, but still is able to pace on the back of Douglas. And we are back. Sorry about that little hiccup there. We are on board with Jason Douglas for LMR Esports, battling it out with the crisscross racing driver of Callan Hodgkinson. These two have been showing some absolute phenomenal driving. Oh, Callan nearly into that wall. That was extremely close. Feeling the pressure of Jace Douglas behind him. Side by side again. What is going on? These two need to settle down.
Oh, something's happened to DeBono.
Internet issues, maybe. He has been struggling over the last couple of weeks with internet issues, which is not great.
Not sure, but he was
no.
running up in P4 and did set the fastest lap of the race about 2 laps ago. Something must have just happened there, and yeah, there you go, just gets a bit loose, and see if he loses it here. Yeah, the rear end just comes around, so no damage, but that's cost him a whole heap of positions and put him down. He's
jumped into the pits.
He has jumped into the
pits. So he's
pits.
actually already got existing damage, so he might be just pushing the limits too much and clipping those walls, and it's built up damage. As we get back live and see Mark Turner, Lockie Brett, and Steven Sinkovich in a 3-way battle. So Mark Turner has actually managed to get around Steven Sinkovich and Lockie Brett. So Mark Turner is really starting to push back through the field now.
Yeah, he's got a lot of ground to make up, and with about 5 seconds to the next driver in Nathan Cale, and his last lap matched him just about in pace, only did 0.2 quicker a lap. Unless something happens ahead, dare I say that he's going to have to consolidate a P8 finish here for Mark Turner after that early go-around.
Yeah, he does have a big gap between Nathan Kane, and Nathan Kane is setting in very consistent lap times at the moment, keeping it nice and clean, up 5 spots from his qualifying position. It's like Shane Newens is around now as well. This is a dangerous track for these 86s. Jobs are on the inside of the corner, just behind Shane's car.
Are we back?
Yeah. We're having a few technical difficulties on my end. I'm just going to tweak a few settings and see if we can get this stream a little smoother. All right, we are back and we are live. As we see Steven Sinkovich for Team SRW Motorsports and Lockie Brett for Maverick Sim Sports battling it out side by side through these corners. Oh, Steven gets a little bit wide there, and that gives Lockie the easy overtake there. But Steven's going to keep it down the inside. Keep it tucked in nice and tight. Gets a really good run out of there. But look, Mark Cochran is starting to get up on this battle as well.
Yeah, this position's definitely worth double for Mark Cochran. One of these three is going to be starting from P1 and one of them's going to be starting from P11. So this is definitely a high stakes battle down here. one of these is going to lose out big time, not just in this race, but definitely in the next one as well. So, a lot to play for in the last 4 minutes of this one. So, should have about, Jordan, about 3-ish more laps to go in this one. A minute 40 a lap.
Jason Douglas.
That was
Brendan.
around.
Is that Brendan Soper?
That was...
It was, yeah, Brendan
Brendan
Soper
Soper.
for Web Sim Racing. These corners are really catching out some of these drivers. Jason Douglas entered the pits. I wonder what's happened.
Yeah, not too sure what's happened there. Well, just as I was saying that's all to play for those three, it's actually it's turned out that this is now the battle for P7, 8, and 10. So all of them will be starting from the front of the grid at this stage of the race.
See Mark go down the outside, around the outside. Really smooth move there to jump Lockie Brett for P9. But Jordan McDonald absolutely running away with this race. There is now 5 seconds between him and John McHenry. That is a monstrous gap. And then John McHenry and Bruce White have stretched out as well. There's 6 seconds between them. Bruce White was on the back of McHenry not all that long ago. Maybe something's happened to Bruce as well. This track is absolutely eating these cars. Oh, you freaking kid. Still alive.
Yeah, I have nothing. It's back now.
Just can't win with internet at some cases.
Chalk it up to a Telstra moment. Other friends are available.
Yeah, it's the lines in the house, like old copper lines, so we'll be
Chalk it
looking
up to an
at...
Australia moment then.
Yeah, it's an Australia moment, still using copper, because good job. Anyway, we will be looking into that. Hit that green car with nowhere to go. Wait, what? Nothing came up, Jace, to say that you
That would be why the pit lane.
Yeah, but there's nothing to say that he's had an incident, so we didn't get to see anything, mate, so that's really unfortunate. Bruce White fell MR Esports, though, in 3rd place at the moment. Let's dare say that will be him locked into that position as there's 7 seconds back to 4th place, Dan Batouche. This is crazy because over the last 3 rounds, these drivers have been on top of each other from start to finish, but this track for some reason wants to drag them apart, and that will be white flag.
Steven Sikovic into the pits as well. So that's actually promoted Greg Johnson up to P10. Everyone's taking a journey through the pit lane today, it would seem.
Yeah, I think this this track's really beating on these poor little cars. Not too much. Mark Cochran and Nathan Kane now. So Mark Cochran passed Lockie Brett not that long ago, and he has really picked up the pace. He's definitely looking to try and get another position. He only has 1.5, well, now he only has 1 lap left to go to make a move on Nathan Kane.
These two will be starting from the same row on the grid, just depending on which side, of course, worth more points between the two, as Mark Cochran looks down the inside and Nathan Kane gives him plenty of space to sort that one out. So they make their way through, and as we watch Jordan McDonald, absolutely scintillating performance in the first round, just driving on his own since the start, comes across the line for your first sprint race win, I suppose, for your Shannons Insurance. Oh, I can't talk. Can you do this? Sorry.
John
I get
McHenry comes over the line in P2.
Got no rhythm.
In P2 for Heat 1 here tonight. It's for your Shannons GR86 Nationals. Bruce White for LMR Esports will come over the line in 3rd place for Heat 1. Until our drivers get around now and get across the finish line. Dan Bartush in 4th. Callan Hodgkinson with a great drive up 4 spots into P5. Mark Turner will come across to the line in P6. Mark Cochran with another great drive back up into where he qualified for P7. Nathan Kane into P8. Lockie Brett with a P9. And surprise, surprise, with all those late last-minute pit stops, Greggy Johnston will be up 10 spots off qualifying and will be on pole position for Heat 2. Get some rhythm, mate. Do you need me to get the rhythm sticks out and like...
Yeah, I need to play a bit of Dance Dance.
Dance Dance Revolution?
Bit of DDR, yeah.
Oh, that does sound good. And
Turn
invite
into
me
a
over.
DDR stream.
Bloody love me some DDR, mate.
I've played in Yonks, mate.
Every time we go to our time zone, that's the first thing I go to. I'm like, I say to my wife, I'm like, come on, let's go. It's on. Results are now locked in for Heat 1 of the Shannons GR86 Nationals. Thanks to Warren and Brown Tools for round 4. Jordan McDonald will take that out. For the Maverick Sim Sports driver, John McHenry for Locked On Racing will be in P2. Don't forget, he is the championship leader at the moment. Bruce Wright in P3 for LMR Esports. Dan Bartush, Callan Hodgkinson, Mark Turner, Mark Cochran, Nathan Kane, Lockie Brett, and Greg Johnston. Let's get that grid up because everything is going to be flipped on its head as we see Greg Johnston taking out the reverse top 10 pole position. Lockie Brett will line up next to him. Nathan Kane, Mark Cochran, Mark Turner, Callan Hodgkinson, Dan Bartush, Bruce White, John McHenry, and Jordan McDonald will be the reverse top 10 as we are get set, ready to go racing. There is no time between these races as the drivers are off and going again. Really good run here from Callan Hodgkinson, straight up the side of Mark Cochran. Ricky Johnson's got a lot on his hands with a lot of fast drivers behind him. John McHenry already starting to make moves. Mark Cochran and Bruce White as well. Are we going 4 wide? We are going 4 wide. There is a bit of contact in the back there. Managed to pull it up. McHenry staying far out left as there was a bit of a dive there. 2 cars have collided. 1 car is around. Everybody will avoid that incident and keep moving on through our first lap here for Heat 2. The Bono all the way back at the pack will be wanting to start pushing through this field. It is going to be very tough and tight. That is not the Bono. The Bono getting around Wakefield already. Wants to get the pedal down, catch back up to the guys in front. Jason Douglas for LMR Esports back in the race on the back of Sinkovic.
Yeah, that looked to be Nathan Kane that went around there down at turn 3. It's up and going again now, but lost quite a bit of time. It's 5 seconds off the back of the pack, but with the way these guys are bunched up early, should be able to make it up pretty decently quickly. Look down the side, looks Jason Douglas, doesn't quite get it done, didn't have enough ongoing speed. Oh, is that Greg Johnson around? It is.
And he has managed to miss the whole field. As we jump back up now to our P3 driver, Bruce White. You can see Mark Turner and Lockie Brett starting to stretch away from the field. While back here, there is a big battle for P3 with the next 7 drivers. Jason Douglas. Gosh, what is happening all over the field?
Thought they were going to look 3 wide there. Dylan DeBono into turn 1. It'll be very dangerous at that speed of the corner, but just thinks the better of it. He's going to try to eye up a good exit, and he's got a great exit out of turn 2. Playing the long game does Dylan DeBono, and look at that, just absolutely slingshotted around the outside, and he's going to have almost 2-3 car lengths of gap towards the braking zone. He gets a 2 for 1 before the corner even, before the braking zone even started. Look, Jason Douglas and Steven Sikovic still going at it. Steven Sikovic, he just gets touched a little bit there, it seems like, and around he goes into the wall. So here we go. Just Steven Sikovic just think there might have been a little bit of contact on the rear end. So we'll see their side by sides. Steven Sikovic on your left, Jason Douglas on the right. They go towards the braking zone, and
I don't know if there was contact there. We will leave that up to race control. It looked like his rear end did get unsettled from something. But we need to get back on board as their timing table is. Mark Turner's around now as well.
And not again.
He was in P2, and now he's falling through the field because he can just not get out of that position. That is a very dangerous position to be stuck in when the field is this close to each other. Look how close these 86 are here.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the second race in a row now that Mark Turner's gone around, and he's going to have to play the recovery game for the rest of the race.
Callan Hodgkinson, Jordan McDonnell, side by side, but Dan Bartouche and John McHenry are right on the side of him as well. This is where they have to be extremely careful of their surroundings and how many cars are actually around them, because right behind them is Ryan Price and Mark Cochran. J-Mac doing a phenomenal job here, keeping it clean, just letting the boys in front do the battling while he sits back and waits for that opportune moment to make a move. But you can see Batouche and Hodgkinson starting to pull away because of that drag. Oh, I heard some tyres lock up there and I was getting ready to close my eyes for an instant. Jordan McDonnell not able to get away from this pack of 4 drivers.
Yeah, he's already made up 7 positions early, has Jordan McDonnell, but he hasn't been able to quite get rid of him yet and get cracking on with Bruce White and Lockie Brett. He's going to want to go for the back-to-back win. He's already done a lot of the dirty work in the under the first 5 minutes, but Callan Hodgkinson's only 3/10 off the back of him. Jordan's not going to have any toe ahead, so we'll see how close Callan can get before the braking zone. He's gaining and gaining and gaining. He's not going to have enough to get it done. Down the inside, as we just look behind, you can see just a little mini train here of Callan Hodgkinson, Dan Bartouche and John McHenry just filing through. It's a little bit unsettled on the exit you saw there. Callan Hodgkinson re-stepped out a little bit, didn't cost him any time it seems. Touches the curb there of 12, I believe that is, and down through 13. We see that all still so close.
McHenry still just sitting comfortably, just waiting for that opportune moment, letting the guys in front of him battle as we jump up to P1 and P2 as we see Lockie Brett and Bruce White battling it out. Lockie Brett gets loose, manages to hold on to it somehow. What a great catch there. Dylan DeBono.
Yeah, he got very loose there. I thought that was for sure going to come around, but managed to hold on to it, and is now just going to... Didn't actually look like it cost him too much time. He's going to have another look down the inside, but doesn't have it anywhere near up enough for Bruce White. He's still going to maintain first place. Just looks like he carried a bit too much speed there through. I thought he was maybe going to have another look there, Lockie, but decides not to. Bruce White, you can see he's just really struggling with the rear end right now. May have overheated the rears a little bit all the while. Jordan McDonnell only 7/10 now back off the pack, back on the pack. So we've got all these top 6 cars are only 3 seconds between them. So this pack is bunched up right. We'll see how hard Bruce White can defend. He's got to do this for another 14 minutes if he's going to maintain first place here. He's done his bit, and he's stretched the gap down towards the braking zone. So he not under threat here, but who is under threat is Dan Bartouche. Around the outside looks John McHenry. Dan Bartouche gets on the curve. It's going to cost him exit speed and gets it done nicely. So up 1 more position for John McHenry. Dan Bartouche down into 6th place. Jeez, if these guys keep going like this, Mark Cochran and Dylan DeBono are going to be on the back of him.
Well, I was just about to say, Dylan DeBono has just set the fastest lap of the session with a 1:44.16. So DeBono is firing on all 4 cylinders right now, really trying to push that gap and get himself back up there. He has got himself up 11 spots from his position on the grid. So far, really great drive. Jordan McDonnell now has got past his teammate Lockie Brett, and Jordan is now going to be pushing towards Bruce White. And we saw the speed that Jordan had in Heat 1, so it's going to be interesting once he gets to the back of Bruce White as we see Callan Hodgkinson going side by side with Lockie Brett. He'll make an easy run out of that. How's he going to look into this corner? Hodgkinson's going to get a great run into that corner, and through he goes. De Bono now has just got around Mark Cochran. De Bono is now up 12 spots and still pushing hard. Drop back
he's
further.
a man on a mission.
Oh my gosh, there's so much happening.
Oh, that was almost contact behind. I'm not sure who that was. It looked to be, I think that was Brendan Stover and Stephen Sick almost coming together. Stephen was so close to running into the back of there, but maybe he did, judging by the front end of Stephen Sick's car. Looks a little bit bent. There's no cars around. Greg Johnson and Mark Turner almost coming together there at the front. Steven Sinkovic looking to the inside of Mark Turner. So these guys are all over the shop.
So what I think happened there is that Soper and Turner were battling. There's actually a little bit of contact between those two, which unsettled Soper's car, which sent him backwards towards the guys behind him. But Jordan McDonnell, the speed he is on is already on the back of Bruce White. This is absolutely ridiculous. This guy can drive.
Yeah, Jordan McDonnell 1.8 seconds faster last lap than Bruce White. He's all over the back of him. He's going to look to the inside of turn 13 and he's going to get the nose up the inside for one as they cross the start finish line, and he gets it pulled up nicely. Doesn't look like he's compromised his exit too much for two, so John McDonnell now up 9 spots after winning the last race and starting P10 on the grid, up to first place in under 10 minutes. So see if he can stretch the gap now from Bruce White, who's had himself a decent race so far, and his pace is been decently good. We'll see what he can do in the tow, whether Jordan McDonnell's going to drive away here or whether Bruce White can hang around and maybe challenge for the win. For now, it's still only 4/10 the gap. As you jump further down the pack, down by Tush, only a 10th. He's going to look to the outside there of Kevin Wakefield, or inside even. No, it is the outside. Apologies. Late on the brakes. He's going to swoop around the outside. And Kevin Wakefield, not much he can do right there with the braking performance then of Dan Parchushby. He's got to look behind for Shane Newens, who's all over the back of him.
Kevin seems to be struggling a little bit at the moment. He's starting to sort of drop backwards quite fast. And the rear of the grid is catching him as we see Jordan McDonnell just knock out a 143.8. De Bono! What's happened? De Bono was stopped. He's going to lose 2 positions here. He was up 12. Oh, that is really close racing between Douglas, Ryan Price. De Bono
he's trying to
is
control
not...
on date. Ooh, I thought he was just going to jump across the front there of Jason Douglas, but no, he managed to skip it. Ooh, that's Ryan Price into the wall a little bit. That's going to cost him. De Bono's right on the back, and Jason Douglas is even more so. So only right on the rear gearbox now is Dylan De Bono. He's going to look to the inside of one here. Yep, he is. He's going to go deep on the brakes. Get it pulled up nicely. He's on the curb. Thought Ryan Price is going to maybe show him the nose. Does. Dylan De Bono's given the space. So this is actually teed up Jason Douglas here for a good run down through 2 and down to turn 3. He's going to make it 3 wide on the main straight down here to 3. Very, very late on the brakes, and De Bono's going to try to slot in, and yeah, there's not much Ryan Price can do from that spot. He just kind of has to slot in. He couldn't really go outside or inside while these guys are racing ahead, so it ended up costing Ryan Price quite a bit of time there. Dylan De Bono looks to the inside but doesn't get it done. Did maybe just shadow punt there Jason Douglas a bit, just got a little bit loose on exit, looks to carry a bit much speed. Oh, Dylan De Bono almost around the outside on the exit, but he's right on the back again, these two. So on the run down now into turn 6, 7 even. So he's going to look to the inside. He doesn't quite have the overlap yet, but he's going to go deep on the brakes. Jason Douglas is going to have to fight it around the outside, and he does. He's going to get a good run, but Ryan Price is now back in on the action. We'll see if he shows the inside here. No. Dylan De Bono now on the back still of Jason Douglas. There's a few more overtaking spots if you're clever through here. He's thought he's going to have a look to the outside here. No, and maybe go for a bit of a switcheroo. Slots back in again. Right on the rear gearbox. So he's going to be just about a new sponsor on the back, the way he's been plastering
his name all over the rear boot of the LMR car here. So
Donald has gone faster again, 1:43.17. He has now pushed that gap to him and Bruce White out up to 2 seconds as we see DeBono squeeze himself down the side. He's got a really good run, carrying a lot more speed. Oh, he's clipped the grass. That's allowed Ryan Price back in on the action. In the Bluey machine.
Got the nose in, and he's going to get a good run down onto the main straight. Just to give Jason Douglas a bit of breathing room off the second gap now. We'll see what Ryan Price can do from the outside. He's a decent way back, about half a car length between the two. Just slots back in again, so wasn't quite close enough to be opportunistic there, but Jordan McDonald out front is absolutely running.
Isn't he what, as we jump back to some of the backpack here, Steven Sinkovich of Team SRW Motorsports, Greg Johnson from Team Greg Racing wearing his teal for Tourette's, Kevin Wakefield just in front of him as well. Wait, what? Something's happened to Bono. Ryan Price is in front of him. What's happened?
Oh, that's broken. That front left's broken.
It's very broken. We're going to have to use a little bit of movie magic because I didn't get an incident report there.
So it looked to be the outside of 6.
Oh, he's
clipped. Never mind. It was the outside of 5.
That's... Wait, is he...
So that may have mildly broken
Oh, he's clipped the wall there as well.
Yeah, upset the balance, and then that's the hard hit that I saw on the outside of 5.
There it is. He hits the ripple strip, unsettles the car.
And then just...
Eats the concrete.
His fate was sealed, unfortunately, from that point.
That is unfortunate for Dylan, as he was having an absolute phenomenal drive. But so is this track, being the concrete jungle. As we see Steven Sinkovich just whine. Oh, no! Oh, no. He just got past Kevin Wakefield and Mark Turner in one swift move to then eat it into the concrete wall.
You can switch to Steven at any point, and it's every time it's got he knows when the camera's on him.
It's like he hears
to make a blanket rule not to switch to him.
Oh, but I saw him get past both Mark and Kevin, and I thought, it's what a great move. What a great move into the wall. Must say, though, Steven's driving has really gotten much better. I haven't called him Spinovich as much as I used to, as we see Turner and Wakefield now going at it. They've got Sinkovich out of the picture, and now the battle is all theirs. This is battle for P10. Jordan McDonald stretching that gap out from Bruce White to nearly 3 seconds. This man is on another level.
Yeah, so that answered the question of whether Bruce White could hang around in the tow and maybe compete for the win. No, was the answer. And a pretty decisive one.
Ryan Price really starting to hone in his racecraft. New to iRacing. Comes from real life background, gets a really good brake marker there. Great flow through that corner, catches Jason Douglas just a little bit off center and manages to lock that move in. That moves Ryan Price up into P7. Now Douglas is going to have to chase Pricey down. Great drive from Ryan tonight in the Bluey machine.
Yeah, up 4 spots, it's very good, but Jason Douglas behind, up 9 spots, also up 9 spots. So of course, Jordan McDonald out front. Biggest shakers, apart from Nathan Kane, who's in the pit lane, down 14. Greg Johnson down 15 positions. The main ones, 5 for Mark Turner. We saw him go around earlier in the race. We jump back now. Jason Douglas, a little bit of a bump. Just give him the hurry up. Down into turn 3. Gets it put up nicely around the outside. Just love the dogs on the front of his car. Maybe makes me giggle.
They're all over the
Bluey car. I know, the Bluey car.
It's the Bluey.
I don't have children. I don't have children myself, so.
Mate, you don't need really children to enjoy Bluey. As we jump up into P2, and now we see it's going to be a 3-way battle here for the last 3 minutes. Bruce White, LMR Esports, Callan Hodgkinson, Crisscross Racing, and John McHenry from the Locked On Lads Racing team. Is going to be one heated battle here to see who will finish in P2, as Jordan McDonald has stretched that gap out to 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think you'll be able to make it 3 for 3 barring an incident in the third race, especially he's going to be starting from P5, not P10 next time round, so it's almost too easy for him, it looks like, at this stage.
Almost too easy. You mean almost too easy? I think it's locked in that it seems too easy as we see Callan Hodgkinson riding the back of Bruce White. John McHenry just eating up all that draft assistance. Will go out to the left. They're not going to go 3 wide into this corner.
Surely not.
No. Bruce White, Hodgkinson are rubbing. John McHenry's going to use that to his advantage. Will he get round both of them, though? He did have a good run. He's definitely in front of Hodgkinson. He's going to have to slip in between Bruce White now. Hodgkinson is heavy on his tail.
That is the signature patient game we're used to seeing from John McHenry, and you saw those two just rub doors on the way into the braking zone, really on the inside line, and John McHenry just said, you guys can do that, but I'm just going to have your position. And we've seen him do it time and time again and play patient, play possum a little bit and just kind of hang around to the end. And we see now he's going to have a nose down the inside of turn 6. He goes very deep on the brakes, manages to get it pulled up. And now there's 2 positions in 1 lap for John McHenry. So he's gone from 4th to all the way up to 2nd now, up 7 spots. And Callan Hodgkinson still on the back of Bruce White. These two are still going at it. And should these guys race the way they were before?
McHenry spun! White's into the end of him. That's going to hurt White a lot. Oh, that is so unfortunate for John. And this is that corner we've seen multiple cars hit that ripple curb a little bit. It's like a ramp. It unsettles the car so quickly. Bruce White speared him, but he's going to keep going. We are on white flag as we jump to a quick replay of McHenry. See him come through. Oh, he just got on the brakes too hard.
Just asked too much of the outside tyres. I think just the way that corner cambers in, and he just really asked too much of the left-hand side, and you only have so much grip available. These cars aren't exactly Indy cars, as Callan goes around as well, so as these three
maybe
were...
they've pushed their tyres so hard with all this battling that their tyres are starting to wear. Is John going to catch him? He's not. Oh, this could be a battle for P3 here. Jason Douglas and Ryan Price are also in a battle here for P6. Douglas down the inside. These two have been backwards and forwards, over and under for the last couple of laps.
Yeah, these two have really, really been going at it. Very, very good to see Ryan Price up there battling for these upper grid positions from where he started last season, not really touching sim racing, and now up battling with Jason Douglas near up the front of the grid and showing really tremendous racecraft. It's something you do love to see.
John McHenry did catch the back of Callan Hodgkinson. I don't think it's going to be enough, as we're going to see Jordan McDonald take out 2 for 2 and win the B main here tonight. Bruce White will come through in 2nd place. Callan Hodgkinson and John McHenry are still going at it. McHenry's still got a little bit of time. I don't think it's going to be enough. We are going to see Hodgkinson take out P3. Not without a valiant effort for John McHenry for the Locked On Lads racing team, coming home in P4. Lockie Brett now for the Maverick Sim Sports will lock in a P5 finish. Jason Douglas, great racing between him and Ryan Price. Jason Douglas will take P6. Ryan Price in P7. Mark Cochran P8. And Dan Bartouche in P9. And Mark Turner will round out your top 10. The next race, our feature race this evening, will be a top 5 inverted grid. So Lockie Brett will be on pole position. John McHenry is going to line up next to him. Callan Hodgkinson and Bruce White will line up next to them, and then Jordan McDonald will actually line up next to Jason Douglas. So it's going to be a really interesting start here for our feature race. Mate, how crazy is the Super Sprint Series? And I want to say this now because I'm losing my voice, that we went from a very stretched out race between the drivers in Heat 1 to a non-stop drivers on top of each other race for Heat 2.
Yeah, I think that reverse top 10 most certainly played dividends. I mean, we still ended up with Jordan McDonald absolutely walking away with the win. Granted, there were a couple of spins in place, but I don't think that would have impacted the final result. As we've run through the final classification, as you see, Jordan McDonald, Bruce White, and Cullen Hodgkinson in your top 3. So with that would be Lockie Brett on pole position, with John McHenry starting next to him for this race. But as we were saying about the reverse top 10, it's improved racing so much. And we saw last season, especially with the grids getting, very stretched out over those hour-long races and becoming more of a pit stop and fuel game. But throw that all out the window. We're all about racing now.
That we are. We actually have our Heat 1 and Heat 2 winner in the green room right now. So we will grab him down and have a chat to him. Jordan, mate.
Hello.
Hello, mate. We're going to have to ask you to use a different setup. Or put some bricks in the back of that bloody car, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it if the chat get involved and donate to the stream. I'll do it for sure.
Mate, look, you say you come from real life midget racing and have definitely clearly had experience in the sim in other cars, mate. Is the 86 one of your favourite cars to drive? Because I feel like you're actually quicker than what you were in the V8 supercar.
If you want me to be honest, I've driven it once before this. I'm actually being serious.
So you're just one of those aliens that just comes in, takes his real life racing experience, throws it in a sim and goes, yeah, I'm fast.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I did grow up doing tarmac karting, from 4 till 16. And, the karting's a great tool. I recommend any youngster that can afford it to do it. It's, I suppose the techniques and everything that you learn from that kind of transfer to both the speedway and obviously in the sim and everything. So it's not like I haven't done road racing before. It's just kind of, I haven't really done it in a long time on the Sims, so I'm still kind of fresh.
I don't think fresh is an excuse you can use for much longer, mate. I've heard you say that now in the AM series, which I have a funny feeling any more races like that, bud, you'll be heading straight to the Pro AM series, that's for sure. You've definitely got some extreme pace out there, mate. Looking really comfortable in the 86 here. How's the track treating you? Nice cold temperatures, so feeling pretty good?
Yeah, I'm loving it actually. This car combo with the track is honestly badass, to be fair. It's they're a lot slower than the supercar, probably a lot less challenging in terms of braking technique and accelerator and that, because you just don't have that raw power, and you got ABS in this as well, so it does make it a bit easier. But just like regardless of the speed, man, they're just fun, it was actually really cool to come from 10th in that last one, because obviously winning is all well and good, but I actually prefer to race, so have cars around me and battle out. So there's a hairy moment in that last one, but yeah, this track, it's treacherous, rewards you if you hang it out on the line, and I suppose that's what I've been trying to do every lap. There's a couple of times in that one where I tagged the wall, so I had to back it down a little bit there, but it's certainly a fun track, and the cold conditions compared to the supercar is definitely refreshing.
Yeah, mate. Well, look, we're glad you and your team have come to the league because, of course, more drivers in the league, the more fun it is for everybody. I love your positive enthusiasm that, you're here to race. You want to win as well, but you also want to get out there and battle and have fun because that's part of what racing is about, mate. And I tell you what, tonight has been exactly one of those nights.
Yeah, I think I start 5th in the next one, I think. I'm not 100% sure how the format is, but
Yes,
I think I start 5th, so
Yep.
it'll be good to...
You'll be lining up
pass
next
these-
to Jason Douglas on the grid, so...
Ooh, Jace, eh?
Yeah.
He was in the supercars, right?
Yes, mate. Yeah, another
Yeah.
young gun that has a lot of promise coming up through his career. So, mate, the grid is just about to go live for this feature race. Congratulations for race 1 and 2, mate. At this rate, we're probably going to see you here in the interviews again afterwards. So, good luck, mate, and get out there and have fun.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. The Brace Control called me. They want me on the track.
Get out there on grid so we can get this
All right.
feature race.
See you later. Bye-bye.
See you, mate. That was Jordan McDonald for the Mavericks Sim Sports. He is our winner for race 1 and 2. The grid will go up now. Lockie, Brett, John McHenry will be on row 1. Callan Hodgkinson, Bruce Wright, row 2. Jordan McDonald and Jason Douglas on row 3. Everybody else will be in their starting positions of where they finished in our B main this evening. This is your feature race tonight for the Shannons Toyota GR86 Nationals for round 4. Thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. We are get set, ready to go racing, and we are green. Whoa, there's already a big incident. What's happened there? Mark Cochran has got the rear of the car loose. He's stuck. No, he's managed to get moving again. That was a really unfortunate start as we see Bruce White in the wall as well. Everybody has just come out to an absolute flying start. Bruce White will battle it out with Jason Douglas, his teammate. Jason Douglas has fallen back through the field. Jordan McDonald already up 1 spot. Nathan Kane up 7 spots off that grid. He got a great launch.
Yeah, I don't know how he's done that. He's up 7 spots. I saw that before turn 2. So immediately off the start, he nailed the rev point and the bite point of the clutch. And obviously with the incidents off the start and down the main straight, he was able to pick up so many, already up to P11. But our man, Jordan McDonald, up 2 spots before the end of the first lap. He's not messing around. John McHenry makes a move into the lead. I've just seen on the timing table as well, but somewhat into the lead. He looks around the outside and he solidifies it. Look at Jordan McDonald. He's being opportunistic on his teammate. Told him, I'm coming through. We're going for the lead on lap 1. So he's already up 3 spots into P2, and John McHenry's got a long race ahead of him if he's to keep Jordan behind. And you just
Jordan
see how
spun
much...
into the wall. No, that was Lockie, sorry.
That was Lockie.
Guys, you need to get different coloured liveries because Lockie just ate that wall and I thought it was Jordan and it was not. McHenry and McDonald, this will be the battle of the ages.
So he's right in the toe, and I think he's going to look down to turn 1. No, he just bides his time a bit and slots back in. He's got another long straight coming up, and with only 2/10 of gap, John's going to be under a lot of pressure here. He stays on the right-hand side, doesn't give Jordan any room to operate. He opened the door a little bit if he wanted it, but he didn't. Jordan's going to opt to the outside line, so John on the left, Jordan on the right. He's going to look for a little switcheroo, tucks back in, almost makes contact with the rear. I thought he was going to go for a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a hurry up, but nice close inch perfect there from Jordan McDonald. We have a look further down the pack, Bruce White and Callan Hodgkinson. These two going at it with teammate Jason Douglas nice and behind him. So whatever hole Bruce White punches, Jason, you can be sure to see Jason, I'm sure, will try to slot through as well. That was a good run there from Bruce White out of 5, gaining massively on Jason Douglas down the straight. I don't think he's going to be close enough come the braking zone. We jump ahead again to Jordan McDonald and John McHenry. McHenry still maintaining his lead gap up to 4/10. He gained a little bit up to 5/10. So doing what he can. We've seen John McHenry make a couple of mistakes here through turn 12 and 13, so all good so far. Mark Turner, good to see he's made it off lap 2. Sorry, Mark. But so he's going. Oh, who was that sprayed out? That was Ryan Price. No, it wasn't. It was Shane Newens. Sprayed out a little bit on the exit. Thought he got loose, but car's still all right. John McHenry gap up to 1.2, so maybe a small mistake there from Jordan McDonald. Gave John a little bit of breathing room. Callens grabbed the fastest lap for 1:44.1, but must have been a small mistake earlier in the lap, Jordan McDonald, or he went for a move and it didn't pay off, and the gap is up to just over a second now and on the edge, but he's under threat now behind from Callens. On board with Stephen and Greg Leake. 2/10 the gap. Greg's got a decent run. It's the first we're really seeing of Greg Leake tonight. We haven't seen his name.
He wasn't in the other. Oh, Spinovich is around.
No, you're right, he was.
No, Leake, he wasn't. If everybody doesn't know Greg Leake, he's been with SRW Racing in our league for a long time. Really close friend of a lot of us. Great dude, has been struggling with health issues, so it means he hasn't been in the sim. So absolutely awesome to see Leakey out there racing, of course, and his teammate Greg Johnson, the two Team Greg. So good on you, Leakey. I'm glad you're out there and having some fun, mate. And I dare say he's in the Discord as well, as we see Brett, Lockie Brett, man, 2 first names. Wow. Get around Ryan Price now. Nathan Kane on the back of him as well. So the Bluey machine is going to have to watch out. I feel like there might have been a bit of an incident in the rear with Leak and Soper. Nothing that I've seen just yet.
So interestingly enough, John McHenry's actually started to gap Jordan McDonald there as he sets the fastest lap of a 43.7. Jordan does a 43.9, so not a slow lap whatsoever. Callan Hodgkinson sitting 5/10 in the gap of Jordan.
Saw that LMR Esports, I think it might have been Jason Douglas, slam into that wall on the way through. You see Mark Turner, Jason Douglas and Dan Batouche in a battle here for P5. Ryan Price has actually managed to jump. Lockie Brett again. Ryan Price really putting it out there tonight, showing what he's got, getting that car in good positions, and really trying to stop these drivers from getting around him. And even if they do, he comes back firing. Someone get me a lozenge, please.
One of those nights.
Oh, the two, as we see Lockie Brett going back at Ryan Price. The last 2 rounds of the 86s have been non-stop.
Round before that at Bathurst was just as good.
Yeah, the 86, the Super Sprint Series has really, really suited these 86 cars to a T. 20-minute heats, 3 races in one night, all or nothing.
You can see the way Ryan Price was really leaning on those tyres. He's giving it everything out there and really pushing it to its limits. On board with Jason Douglas, Mark Turner and Dan Bartouche in this 3-way battle for P5.
Okay, Jordan McDonald has now done the fastest lap with a 143.1, nearly down into the 142s. He has got 9/10 of a second a lap faster than McHenry right now, so he's definitely starting to put the heat on. He's dropped that gap to 0.5 of a second. So I dare say any corner now he will be right on top of McHenry. As we keep an eye.
John gapped him the lap before last, but yeah, as we saw there, John McDonald with a 43 flat versus John McHenry's just inside the 43.7s, basically a 43.8, so 8/10 really 7/10 the difference, or exactly to the 1,007/10 the difference between the two last lap. Oh, that's the best laps I'm reading. It was 9/10. Apologies, you were alright. I was reading the best lap. I gotta swap those two around.
Yeah, just like it's not the white flag.
It's always the white flag. It's the white flag on a nice day.
At least Barney's doing his job tonight, and I get a cue to say it is white flag, but it is not the white flag. We are only lap 5 in here of our feature race tonight for your Shannons Toyota GR86 Nationals. This is round 4 thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. Man, I don't know who to pick for driver of the day. These Super Sprint Steeries are doing my head in. You know what? I'm actually nominating Ryan Price. I am putting Ryan Price for driver of the day. That is my nomination.
We still got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, but we've already had 2.5 races. Getting my nomination in early before anybody else races extremely well, like everybody else has been tonight.
I reserve my vote till the end.
I can't. I'll be too confused. I'm already too confused. It's already too hard to pick a driver of the day in this series. Whoa, as we see someone blinking there behind Ryan Price. Wow, that was extremely close through that corner. Ryan Price holding off the Maverick Sim Sports team. Doing it on his own. Jason Douglas now on the back of... No, Mark Turner now on the back of Jason Douglas. Going side by side with Mark Turner down into the corner. There is contact. Turner is around.
Huge drama there at turn 6. You see very much down the inside there, Jason Douglas just about a bonnet's worth ahead. Just coming over, it looks like, just in the braking zone, just trying to force him off the line. And not really anywhere he could have gone around the outside, I would dare say. Leave that one up to our man in the room, Daniel Fritz, to the side.
Race stewards will get a hold of that. I'm sure it was called in. It was very, very close racing, and you're going to see that a lot on tracks like this.
So, hang on a bit tit for tat. Jordan McDonald last lap, again, 4/10 faster than John McHenry, but still just not able to make his way past. We are approaching blue flags. Hopefully he doesn't become too involved here, but Jordan McDonald, this last lap has really, really closed up the gap. 4/10 the gap on the exit. Here, I don't know if this is going to be close enough. We've seen 4/10 gap in the past. I don't think this straight is long enough, and it's not going to get any sort of enough speed to get alongside, but we've seen Jordan McDonald really be strongest from here at turn 7 all the way through this little twisty left-hand complex and really make up a lot of time. You've seen him being right on the back through turn 13 and getting on the back, getting a good run down through the flat 14 into turn 1. As we see, just the gap down to still at 4/10, and this is where he really sends it through here. He can get the car tipped in nicely. Right hand side front just completely in the air. He's going maximum attack right now, Jordan McDonald, and he's gotten a good run onto the main straight. You flat through here into the short pit straight for turn 1. He's not going to get enough done, but he gains a bit under braking, keeps off the curb. John McHenry uses all of the curb. Sets up nicely, grabs a little bit of curve that'll help rotation for Jordan McDonald. Gets nicely, he's 2/10 the gap onto the longer straight of the track. Tucks in nicely. John McHenry defending from the middle of the track, it seems. He's going to send it down the inside, Jordan McDonald. John McHenry's going to try to hang it around the outside and into the wall there.
Contact through the corner there. You saw Jordan's car get a little unsettled over that curb. Sort of pushed him over onto J-Mac. He has redressed. Great show of sportsmanship. Great show of sportsmanship there for Jordan McDonald.
I might have a new favourite driver.
Mate, I'm such a fence sitter. It is too hard for me to pick a favourite driver. I enjoy watching all our drivers get out here week in, week out. And I tell you what, I watch a lot of our drivers.
That is something I love seeing, is the driver redress, not the steward given one. Just complete onus on the driver there to know that he was maybe a bit ambitious, and I don't think he was even ambitious. It's the curb caught him out a little bit there. John McDonald, he just lost all steering as he hit it, but he knew that, you know, he was probably going to be asked to redress or maybe receive a post-race time penalty for that one. So great onus on the driver there to give that one up and race on.
Great race. So we've gone again from first race being really stretched out between the drivers. Second race, all drivers on top of each other non-stop. Third race, so far, look at the field. They're all spread again. This is why super sprints are just crazy.
But we do have a battle for the lead, unlike the other races. John McHenry's going to do it again from the left-hand side of the track. He's deep on the brakes. John McDonald's on the inside this time, and he's asked a lot of the lefts
tires,
there, and especially that rear left, and it's just, he's come around and he was really asking a lot. He was carrying so much speed on the shallow line there, and the car, tyres just gave up on him there.
That's allowed Callan Hodgkinson back up into another podium finish, as well as Bruce White is up in there as well now. They do have a lot of time, though, to catch up to our leader, John McHenry. There's 5-second gaps between Hodgkinson. McHenry's just got to take it easy now, relax through this, keep an eye on his interval, and just keep it on the track.
Yeah, he can breathe now, John McHenry, but he certainly can't relax. Callan Hodgkinson doing just about 3/10 a lap faster last lap. That's terrible mathematics. 4/10 a lap faster, so he's not gaining massively as Callan Hodgkinson, but John McHenry most certainly can't let his foot off the pedal. If he does, then Callan will be right into it again. But Jordan McDonald, I mean, still only 2 seconds off the back of Dan Bartouche and another 3 off the back then of Bruce White. So with 4 minutes left in the race, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that he can make up that sort of time. We've seen the gaps he can pull when he was running at the front. Question is, how hot are his tyres going to be from that spin, and how quickly can he get him cooled down, or even if he can, with the overtakes he's bound to make in the final 3.5 minutes-ish of this race.
Not long left to go now. The field is extremely stretched out. No safety cars tonight. And at this moment, there probably won't be one.
Yeah, I kind of jinxed that at the start.
It happens.
Said I'm sure. I said I guarantee we'll see a safety car, and it was in fact not a guarantee.
I'm actually really surprised we haven't seen a safety car with how tight the racing has been and how close these guys have been racing to each other, with just how sketchy this track is, as we see Bruce White get really crossed up through there. Manages to hold on to that absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, he would have given it all sorts of opposite lock then. That was all Tokyo drift style through there. As you can see Jordan McDonald in the background, you see how hard he is pushing. He's absolutely flying right now. Only 6/10 the gap this lap on the back now of Dan Bartouche. That was 2 seconds basically at the start of the lap. Look at that, 2/10, 1/10. He's got a massive run out of the final braking zone, and he's going to get it done before turn 16, 14 even, and he's there. He can crack on and try to salvage a podium finish here for where Bruce White is.
He's still got 4.6 seconds on the back of Bruce White. That's a lot of time to pick up, but he did do a 143.59 to Bruce White's 144.73. P3. So he is nearly a second faster a lap still at this moment to Bruce White. But he's going to need 4 more laps, and we're just not going to see it.
Yeah, it's going to take a mistake from Bruce White at this stage, I'd say, for him to really get onto the back of him. I mean, yeah, he's flying right now, Jordan McDonald. You can see him up the road. He's just there, but there's just not going to be enough time, I don't think. John McHenry's got 4/10 of the lap to go, so should pick up the white flag next time around, John McHenry. We've only got 1:20 left in this one. And we're certainly going to pick up the white flag next time by. So, yeah, I think, and we know how quick Jordan McDonald has been tonight, but 4 seconds in essentially 1 and a bit laps is going to be a very tall, if not impossible ask, barring a mistake from Bruce White ahead.
Definitely a bit of a tall order, as you said. Yeah, Bruce White would have to make that mistake to allow him onto the back of him. He has already knocked off 1 second. He has already knocked off 1 second, but we are now on white flag lap. That is crazy fast, and the tenths are still dropping.
It's 3.4 seconds. It's dropping quick, but I just don't think it's dropping fast enough. So Bruce White, I'm sure, would have been very happy to see the white flag thrown last time across. So we're right on board with John McHenry's no risks at this stage of the race. He could just essentially nurse it home, almost 6 seconds the gap behind. Absolutely no need to risk the car or whatsoever. This would be an absolutely tragic part of the race to go around. 71 of Greg Leake. I can see stopped on track up ahead. He's got it rolling again. So John McHenry was approaching that section of the track where Greg was stopped, but so it's all up and running now.
Jordan's dropped that gap to 3 seconds. I reckon 1 more lap and he might have had him. It's under 3 seconds, that gap. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's moving.
2 laps, only 2 extra laps. And McDonald could have been on top of White for the battle for P3. As we see John McHenry for Locked On Lads Racing will take out your feature race here tonight with a phenomenal drive up 1 position from grid. Callan Hodgkinson will see another podium finish in P2 for Crisscross Racing. And Bruce Wright will also see another podium finish for LMR Esports. And there's Jordan McDonald. That's how close he got. After being 4 seconds behind, he was just under 2 seconds off the back of Bruce White by the end of that. Phenomenal drive here from Jordan. Dan Batouche up 4 spots to finish in P5. Mark Turner will finish in P6 up 4 spots off the grid. Ryan Price, another great drive from Ryan in the Bluey machine, will finish in P7 where he started on the grid. Great battling all through the night. Lockie Brett will come over the line in P8. Jace Douglas probably not where he wanted to be, but has had some great battles all night across the field. So good drive there from Jace. Will finish in a P9. Shane Newens will come across in P10, up 2 spots off his gridding. Greg Johnston for Team Greg will get up 6 spots and finish in P11. Nathan Kane up 6 spots, will finish in P12. Greggy Lee, great to see you out there again, mate. Up 6 spots, will finish in P13. Stephen Sinkovich will finish up 1 spot off the grid and will finish in P14. Wayne Edwards, Brendan Soper, Kevin Wakefield, Mark Cochran, and Pete Gretton and Dylan DeBono. So Pete Gretton and Dylan DeBono didn't actually see this race, which is really upsetting for DeBono. Was really hoping to see him get back out there and put it to the field, as he had a great second race tonight. Yeah, Ryan, can you do some talking because my throat's hurting?
Mate, you're doing so good. I just want to let you cook a little bit.
Well, I'm trying to make up for my Tuesday night's effort. So, but no, a great race here again for your Shannons Toyota GR86 Nationals. Thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. That was round 4. We will get our B main podium into, and that is the wrong result. ShiBBy, dear oh dear. Even I make mistakes. And that is your feature results. I actually think, just looking at Jordan finishing first, and 4th, he will take the overall.
Where did John finish in the first 2 races?
Yeah,
I
actually,
can't recall. Where did John finish?
Second. And then... What? Oh, it's called B, mate. Okay. Odd. And then 4th.
And then 1st, but the second race is worth double.
Right, so that.
So I actually think John might have actually gotten it then.
He might have pipped him. Jordan
did
got
the maths. Hold on.
Well, Jordan got 2 wins: 1st, 2nd, and then a 4th.
So 5th.
I think Jordan's going to be overall.
4th is 88. So he got 188 points, and then so John got a 2nd and a 4th.
Yep, 2nd, then 4th. Then 1st.
You wouldn't believe it.
What is there?
It's
1
a
point?
tie. It's a tie.
Is it a dead set tie?
188. 188. So it really comes down to fastest laps and whatever else. And when you include that, Jordan would have gotten it then for the 5 extra points for fastest lap.
Wow.
So, but on raw results, it's it was dead heat. 188 points apiece.
So McDonald has taken the overall round win because of fastest lap.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. Well, Fritzy, our race steward tonight, thanks so much, Fritzy, for doing such an awesome job. He must have known this because he's also sent Jordan McDonald down to the green room as well. So let's go. Let's gosh, I don't even know where to start. Do we Man, this is where it gets tough. All right, we are going to get some drivers in here.
Stu.
Yeah, let's start with Bruce. Let's go through our feature result podium. We'll start with Bruce. We'll work our way up to John, and then we'll get Jordan and John in here at the same time so we can announce the good news. So,
Bruce, mate. Hello.
Gosh, I wasn't even ready for you.
I know. I'd already dragged him. Hey, mate.
How you going?
I'm well, thanks, mate. How are you?
Good.
So, a bit of a chaotic night it seems with all across the board.
Yep.
You want to just walk us through? How'd your night go?
Yeah, on and off, man. I think I finished where I should have. Probably should have finished back a bit. I suppose these guys are a bit faster than me already. Okay.
We've seen a lot of moving and shaking throughout the grid, but you seem to be always generally up the front for the most part. So must have put the prac in during the week, did you? Or
no, it's the first time I drew this car here on the
really
in practice. Yeah. So, yeah.
Nah, well, great job keeping it off the walls. I mean, we've seen these cars be paper mache essentially all throughout the season. So
we got a few scrapes there, but
yeah, nothing enough to break it, mate. Well, congratulations, all in all. I mean, I think that would net you. We'd have to run the maths on the across the all three, but about maybe P3 or P2 overall in the round. So, congratulations. Who do you want to shout out for your sponsors?
All right, we'll try and get this right. It's Logi Brothers, Dubby, NZ Performance, Wayne Bennett Mechanical, Lutz Driver Performance, Majors Garage, JM Designs, and all the boys at LMR Esports, and you guys, I think. That's it. What is it?
What's the league racing? Jeez, Bruce, that's not sounding good.
Oh, it's just
At least you turned up. At least you turned up to the right server. So
Yeah, that's a bonus. Sorry, guys.
oh gosh, mate. No, that was good. It gave us a bit of a laugh, mate. No, congratulations tonight. Some really good battling across the field, mate. You definitely deserved that the podium finish in the feature race tonight, mate. Good job. Welcome to your new team, LMR Esports. I think they did a great job picking you up, mate. So good luck out there with the new team. I'm sure you're going to do great things with them.
Great, thanks, mate. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.
See you, mate.
See ya.
That was Bruce White from LMR Esports. He is third place in our feature race here tonight. We will move on to second place. Callan Hodgkinson from Crisscross Racing. Callan.
Hey guys, what a race.
Mate, what a race indeed. All night, buddy. All night. You were getting yourself involved with everyone left, right, and centre.
Yeah, it was good speed races. Had a good bit of action. Yeah,
that's what we
three
want.
tight, three wide, and good racing, good nice fair for everyone. So, no, I'm happy. It was awesome.
Did you feel comfortable with your setup tonight? It definitely looked like you were.
Yeah, definitely. On these couple of corners where it's pretty loose, it is Detroit. But I hit the wall a couple of times, but it was pretty forgiving with the damage. So yeah, no, it was an awesome one. It was one of the best ones this year, I reckon. So happy days.
Definitely put on a great spectacle for all the viewers out there and us in the comms box as well, mate. Great drive from you tonight, mate. Missing your teammate out there this evening, but it didn't seem to make much of a difference. And you just absolutely locked it in for a couple of podium finishes, mate. So well done on picking up those points this evening, because there's really not much in it at the top of the championship board at the moment, mate. So you're going to have to keep battling away with J-Mac to see who takes out this championship over the next 5 rounds. So again, congratulations, mate. And the mic is all yours to shout out your sponsors.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I want to say thanks to Shunt Scenery, DSM, it's painting contractors, Boom Designs, Master Bayside, and Jennifer Russell Real Estate.
Nice, mate. Well, again, congratulations. Great job, and we look forward to seeing you back out here on track next week.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
That was Callan Hodgkinson, your feature second place here tonight for Crisscross Racing. We will move on to our feature first place, and that is Mr. John McHenry for Locked On Lads Racing. John.
Hello, mate.
J-Mac, not ShiBBy.
Yes.
What a cracker. What a cracker.
That had me sweating like you wouldn't believe. That was some of the best racing I've had this season, even. It's been a bloody ripping season. Jordan.
Mate, you always find a way to squeak it out, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, Jordan is fast, but his sportsmanship in that last race, second to none. He's we had an incident there in that third corner, I think it was, and I wasn't going to call it in. He decided to give the place back and say, he said, all right, let's race on, sort of thing. And unfortunately, he had that spin in the same corner on turn 3, sort of thing. It was some great racing. He had the blowtorch on me for that race, that's for sure.
Yeah, we made good mention of that on the broadcast. I gave it a good 45 seconds on good sportsmanship after he did that. It was very good to see. It was duly noted.
Race when he spun, I called into race control because I wasn't sure if I might have turned down on him or something like that, because I didn't want to be the one that done the wrong, because we're having so much fun.
John, can you please move your mic a little bit closer to your face?
I was just about to ask you that.
Is that any better?
Yeah,
it is a little bit better, yeah. Yeah, just a bit quiet.
Yeah, it goes a bit funny every now and then, this thing. But, no, look, I mean, racing with Jordan, he's coming to the series late, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun and got a lot of respect for him already straight away, sort of thing.
He's going to be the one chasing you down for your championship lead. You know that, right?
Ah, that's all right. I'm happy to have, as long as we're enjoying, mate. That's all there is to it. That's the best thing.
Well, it's crazy because the race before, you were having a really good race, really comfortable sitting up in P2, and then you did the same thing. I think it was the same corner too. You spun yourself, which plummeted you down the field.
Yeah, I went from second. I was racing with Cal and Bruce. Top three in the points at the moment. We're all nose to tail, and I managed to get both past them in the one lap there. And I thought, right, put the head down, get away from him. Just pushed a bit too hard on, I think, turn 11 or turn 12 there, and looped it round. And luckily, we had a good gap to the cars behind. I was able to get on the grass, spin it round, and get going, and just hold on to fourth place, which, knowing that the reverse top 5 was the next race, it was kind of handy knowing that I'd be finished starting from P2.
Well, it definitely worked out in your favour for the feature race, mate. And I might get my mate here, Ryan, to actually, mate, shout out what Locked On Lads do for the community. And then we're going to drag Jordan down here as well with you.
So Locked On Lads racing for Cure Cancer. As a foundation, they're trying to raise money, obviously, for trying to cure cancer. And it ain't weak to speak, again, in mental health. Advocate out there there's people on the phones at all time. If people need it, if they're finding that they're struggling for any reason whatsoever, pick up the phone, give someone a call, talk to the person next to you. It's going to help you. The other thing the boys are doing, 2 of the boys are setting off next year on the Shitbox Rally, and they are raising money for cancer research with that one as well. They need to raise $5,000 so they can get onto the rally. So if anyone wants to visit the Locked On Lads Facebook page, or even on the SRW page, we've seen the boys you've shared it on there. I believe there are links on that there if anyone wishes to make a donation and help get the boys on that rally, because both of them have been touched by the guys that are out there have been touched by cancer in multiple different ways, and it's big for them to go out and do it, and it's great to see them out there going for it.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Both those great things to get behind, support Cure Cancer, and it ain't weak to speak. We've got a great community of drivers here as well, that if you ever come along in our Discord or you're part of the Discord, reach out to any of us. We're always happy to have a chat. We jump into voice chat with you, run some laps around the car, and just talk it through. So it's quite easy. There's plenty of us here to reach out to, mate. And the Shitbox Rally is going to be pretty awesome, bud. We have shared that all over our socials and of course in Discord for you, mate. Congratulations on a feature first place. And then, of course, the big old drum roll as we bring Jordan in. Hey, mate. Have you worked out the points yet?
Oh, he's got the points. Oh, we went.
He actually didn't.
Wait for it.
196.
Yeah, Ryan, you can.
On pure race results, you guys ended up evening out at 188 apiece.
Oh, no.
But yeah, we did the maths. Well, or I did the maths while I was running through the ShiBBy was running through the results. But when you include fastest laps, yeah, it does come out to Jordan.
Nice.
Only
so on race results, it was 188.
Wow.
Because the feature race is worth double.
Yep.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, now you know.
Yeah. Oh shit! I shouldn't have let him back by.
You still got the overall win, mate. Like, yeah, but just because of that fastest lap, mate, edged you in front by, what is it, 3 points or 5 points?
If it's 5 points for each race, then it'd probably be 15. So
it's 5 points for the feature.
Yeah, it's only for the feature.
Oh,
race.
only for the feature,
Yeah.
so just by 5 points then.
Yep. So really, really solid racing between, I'm going to say like the top 5 of you guys, apart from when Jordan just got away and went, yeah, I'm just going to put 10 seconds on everybody else. But that was race 2. But race 1 and the feature, you guys are just showing some great sportsmanship, some really good racecraft, and it made our job in the broadcast so much more enjoyable that we could see the great sportsmanship between all of you out there. Callan, Bruce, Dan, Mark, everybody that was getting involved with that battle for up the front, especially with the reverse top 10, really made that enjoyable. So congratulations, Jordan, for being the overall round winner. Congratulations, John, for showing us some just fantastic driving tonight and taking out P2 on the podium for the round, mate. Great driving from both of yous. Jordan, I think we're probably going to see more of you in this comms box over the next 5 weeks.
Oh, I mean, you're only as good as the last race you race, mate, and that's 4th for me. So we'll see. We got to push on, and obviously a lot of guys they really enjoyed themselves tonight, and they're really keen to get into it. So I think our nights where we're not doing a lot might not be so much dirt anymore.
You
might be
have
some testing.
You might found yourself a new home over in the SRW League.
Yeah, definitely. The lads are enjoying it, and I think I was saying to John before we come in here that it's everyone's really welcoming, and the whole field. Like you've got the guys at the top that are. At the front that are quick, and then you got like that middle ground, and then you got the guys that are still learning. So it's like a perfect place for, especially like my team and obviously being the owner of it. For me, it's a good place where my guys can come in and learn the racecraft and be surrounded by a great bunch of people that actually want to see everyone do well as well. There's obviously a lot of leagues out there that are super competitive and have their place, but for new guys into tarmac racing and just people that not necessarily at the same level, this place is perfect. It's really welcoming and friendly. So looking forward to more racing.
Mate, you got a heap of pace behind you. Any chance we're going to see us Sunday nights for the Pro-Ams?
Oh, we'll have to see. Obviously, school night. Got to sleep in, ready for work the next day. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, also got a fiance that will want attention as well, and I got to make sure I balance that out as well with the real world stuff starting to kick off too. So if I've got the time to do the Sundays, I definitely will. And but at the moment, the weekday stuff is a lot more easier to work around for me. So We'll see how it goes. Might even jump in the F3s if there's room,
F3 is full, man. Like you were lucky you got squeezed into the AM series. So but yeah, we might have to try and kick you out over to the Sundays and see how you go out there with the boys on track.
Yeah, well, if that's what's going to happen, then I'll do it. I'll try and make some time for it for sure.
Well, I tell you what, season 4 will actually be announced sooner than everybody will be expecting. So keep an eye out on our Discord and our socials because that will be released. I can't say when, but it's going to happen a lot sooner than people are expecting. So, but it is on the cards. And first in, best dressed, of course. And so it's going to be an exciting season 4. That's for sure. We look forwards to having you and your team back over the rest of this season, Jordan. So thanks for joining us. Has been a pleasure watching you race out here. Again, of course, John McHenry will be the overall round second place. Yeah, second place. We haven't worked out third, but it will be released over the next couple of days. So congratulations to all our drivers out on track. Thanks for joining us in the comms box, lads. Go and get into that roulette session.
I'm going to bed, but before I go, can I thank my sponsors?
Yes, of course you can, mate. Of course you can.
Obviously, big thanks to Maverick, Sim Sports, Sim Blacks, Stefan and Victor, Auto Care Pukekohe, new sponsor that's come on since Tuesday night. And yeah, just shout out to Nate Kane and his bald head. Shine bright like a diamond, my friend.
Did you pick up Auto Care Pukekohe because of the Tuesday night stream?
No, I'm just talking shit.
Oh, I was going to say, wow, our broadcasts really work.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, like that's, that's what the sponsors want. They want that exposure. So even though obviously the stream on Tuesday wasn't the main reason, we'd had it in the pipelines for a bit. It's definitely going to help.
It helped get it over the line, right? Yeah.
And it helps everyone's sponsors too. So thank you guys as well for putting on a stream. It's awesome to watch back the next day or even now. And appreciate it.
No problems at all, mate. We enjoy it, and that's why we do it. So, yes, and I look forward to Sunday night's Pro-Am series as well. So, might see what happens if you end up slotting yourself up in there, mate. But yeah, definitely been driving extremely well. Congratulations to you both. We look forward to seeing you back out here next Thursday night.
Definitely, mate. Catch you later.
Have a good one, lads.
See you, mate. Thank you.
Guys.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people of all ages, will wound out your Shannon's Toyota GR86 Nationals here for round 4. Thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. Jordan McDonald will take the overall round win, with John McHenry taking second place. Keep an eye on socials to find out who third place was. I have been Nathan ShiBBy Howard. Next to me has been Ryan Green for Alpha Venturi Racing. Go check them out on, what is it that you use now? Twitter? What's it bloody called?
X.com now.
Oh, it's X.com now. Right, go check out Alpha Venturi Racing over X.com. I don't know how that really doesn't sound great.
No, it doesn't.
No, but yes. What's your @ over there, mate?
Just Alpha Venturi.
@Alpha Venturi over on X.com. Check them out. Give them a follow. We will be back next week, same time, same bat channel. Huge shout out to Shannon's Insurance, Warren and Brown Tools, Grim Industries, Rare Spares, Tempting Sweets, Racecraft, and of course, all of you who join us every week. We're going to end this broadcast by saying stay safe and race hard.